All right, on this edition of Blender versus the Industry, we're going to take a look at Blender versus Maya in duplicating objects. Okay, I'm going to start off with Maya, kind of talk about some of its features, then look at Blender, see how Blender handles that same kind of task, and then at the end of the video, I'll kind of let you know which one is my favorite. So let's go ahead and kind of start with Maya. So let's say if we're making a fence or something and we needed even spacing like this. I'm just going to go ahead and maybe delete these and kind of start with this single cube here. What I can do is I can go up here, edit, duplicate special options, and I can say, hey, I want to create maybe 10 posts, and I want to, this is going to be X, this will be Y, and this will be Z. Okay, in this case, I want to go negative because this is going to be pointing in the positive direction. I want to go negative, let's say negative 3 units in the X. No, I'm sorry. This would be X, so negative 3. And now if I hit apply, I can go like that. And you can see that, well, now maybe I should have had more space. And you can see that that's kind of clunky and unintuitive here. I'm going to just reset that. A neat thing that Maya has implemented is Shift D. Okay, so if I do Shift D and then move it, I kind of determine how much space do I want between it. So maybe I want that much space. Now if I do Shift D again, it's going to remember how far it went before I duplicate it again. So then I can just keep pressing Shift D, and you can see it keeps doing that. What's neat about Shift D is that if I did something like this, if I did Shift D, move this over, and then if I scaled it smaller, and let's say even rotate it slightly like that, now if I do Shift D, it's going to remember to move it, scale it, and rotate it, as you can see there. So you can kind of make some cool like abstract art if you wanted to, or make like a spiral staircase really easily. And let's see what this looks like if I didn't scale it. So let's say if I just did Shift D, move this forward, and then if I rotated this just slightly like that, and now if I did Shift D again, I can kind of see really kind of an interesting effect there. I could type in specific values here, but again, Control D is going to be regular duplicate. Duplicate special is if you kind of numerically know what you want and you want to type that in. And then Shift D is duplicate with transform. So again, you can just kind of visually see it and then duplicate, and it'll maintain those transform, whether it's a move, rotate, or scale. So kind of cool. I feel like really powerful. It's something that I use quite a bit in Maya. Let's take a look at how Blender handles that same task. So here I'm in Blender, and again, I'll go ahead and delete all of this, and I'm just going to go ahead and create a cube. We'll call it a single fence post. And now what I can do, I'll hit, okay, cool. Now I could come in here and I can add a modifier. Okay, so I want to make sure that I'm in the modifier tab, which is this wrench tab, and I can come here and I can click on array. Now when I do that, it says, hey, how many do you want? Well, first of all, I'm going to say the X factors, so this is how far it is in X, so I can kind of do that. And just like in Maya, I can kind of visually see a little bit better. You know, I can see that I want it, well, this is my count. This is how far it is. So I'd have to have at least 2. And then I can kind of figure out, I want it, yeah, that far. Now I can just kind of put my count up, and you can see that, yeah, pretty clean here. I feel like if I did a scale or something, it's not, the array isn't going to follow that. I feel like the array is going to be better suited for items that are just, you're duplicating that item with kind of equal spacing. So then if I wanted to get rid of the array, okay, if I just wanted it like this, then I can come here and I could hit apply on this one and then hit apply. Now it doesn't know that it was created by an array, and then you just have kind of equal spacing. So really cool. I have seen some things that are done kind of really complex with arrays, and I feel like you can do a lot of neat things. But I feel like as far as Blender or Maya, kind of who did it better, I feel like I like the fact that when Maya introduced Shift D, okay, where you can kind of visually see it, and then you can kind of do the just kind of move and do that. Even though it seems kind of less specific, I think that I prefer the way that Maya is handling that. Again, type in the comments below if you know kind of a cool trick in Blender with incorporating scale and rotation. I feel like there's a lot of different ways to do stuff, but I feel like just kind of at the core, I feel like this is kind of a look at just duplicating multiple objects. So in this one, I'm going to give thumbs up to Maya. However, I don't think it's, again, worth the change. I feel like you can make whatever you need happen in Blender here, but I think that in this instance, I think that Maya, I feel like I really like that that visual, how fast I can do that. It just seems kind of quicker and faster, and I can get the job done kind of more efficiently there. So that's just my 2 cents. Make sure to, again, like, subscribe, and share this video. All right, see you next time.